Good morning, good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. My name is Teresa Micheletti, and this site is called Take What Rings True. So, if you believe what I say, if you believe what I say, then keep that. If you don't believe what I say, just let those thoughts drop away. So, today I'm going to talk about Akashic Records. And the information comes from trance classes where my mentor, Sylvia Brown, would go into a trance and her spirit guide would come in. She'd go sit on a bench on the other side and not remember anything. And one of her spirit guides, Rahim or Francine, alias Aina, would come in and give us information. And that went on for years. So I've got a lot of information about heaven and life and all that stuff. And I also got some of this information from hypnosis sessions because I'm a hypnotist. And often I will guide clients to the other side to get information about their concerns or their issues. So now, when I first got my training as a hypnotist, then Sylvia, my mentor, would send me across the United States doing past life regressions. And often at the end of the session, or it could be the focus of the session, the client would go to the other side. Now, one place they would visit would be the scanning area, or they would go to the actual scrolls for Akashic Records. Now, I believe Akashic Records are our creator, I call God, source, whatever you want to call it. It's our creator's memory bank. So Akashic Records take more than one form. It's an actual library with scrolls, and you can go in, and there's a facilitator there who will guide you to your scroll. And when I would have my clients, hypnosis clients, go to Akashic Records, they would often see a beautiful scroll with beautiful gold writing, and then they couldn't understand a thing that was there. Well, Francine told us a long time ago that you're not supposed to access your Akashic record because you're not supposed to know what's going to be happening in the future that you've written out that you would like to have happen, the lessons you would like. It's supposed to be a surprise and see how you react. However, I remember one person was able to access her record and see, she believed that she was going to die when she was young. And she wanted to know if the person that she was with is somebody that she was supposed to be with. So she saw two things on her scroll. She saw that she would die when she was 25, and she wanted to know that. And she saw that she was supposed to be with the guy that she was with. And earlier, we'd already gone through multiple lives in her hypnosis session, and she'd seen that she'd been with that guy and she was supposed to be with him. Okay, so otherwise, most people could just see this beautiful scroll. Then one time in trance class, Francine came in and said that you could go to Akashic Records and read the scroll of one of your relatives or a friend. So people started being able to read their own scrolls, not all of it, and read their relative scrolls, like to find out, why did they have this lesson? Why did they lose all their money and become bankrupt? So you could look through their record and find out. Now you can access those written records through hypnosis, a hypnosis session, through meditation, or occasionally through astral projection. So some people started checking out their scrolls or their Akashic records. But also, Akashic records are in other forms. When you die and pass over to the other side, you go to check your personal records in a visual form, like a television, visual, auditory, and a screen comes up and you can see your lifetime. And since there's no time on the other side, you can go through your whole lifetime in a pretty short amount of time. But looking at the screen, you can fast forward, you can go backwards. There's always an angel with you saying, yes, you did do a good job. Yes, you did make a difference. And they point things out when you start getting down on yourself. It's like, oh, I didn't do that very well. Didn't do that very well. So there's angels that will help you to figure out the meaning and why did you go through that lesson, and okay, you could have done that better. And when you check that after this lifetime, you can decide, okay, I would like to do that lesson over in another lifetime, or I'm done with all my lifetimes. You decide that. No one else decides it, and no one judges but you. You're the judge. And you decide whether you're going to do more. I got some fly here, more lifetimes or not. So you can go to what's called the Hall of Wisdom and check the scanning machines, that TV-like thing, to answer questions in this life, or to see what's going on. Why did you go through this lesson, and replay it and see the aspects of this person, that person, the people that were involved in that lesson. You can also go to the official. So the Hall of Wisdom has the scanning machines. You can go to the official Akashic Records, written records, at the Hall of Records, which is a library that contains all of our written scrolls from all of our lifetimes. Also at the Hall of Records, you can go into the 360-degree experience. I remember a couple of times at the World's Fair, I remember there was a 360-degree experience. And at one of the amusement parks, there used to be one where you can step into this room and there's movies all around you. So you're looking at 360 degrees of the experience. Well, on the other side, you can go to the Hall of Records and step into your experience of any point in your life. You can also go to any point in history. So you want to go to the signing of the Declaration of Independence, you can step into that. So I think I've told you before about another mentor, Sylvia's guide, Rahim, talking about checking something out for somebody. And he stepped into that 360-degree experience, and it was Buffalo Indians. He's right in the middle of it. So he said he knew that one of the Native Americans had seen him. So they probably thought they had seen a ghost or a spirit, which he was. When you're on the other side, when we look at people on the other side, we interpret them as spirits. When we go to the other side, we're interpreted as spirits because we're the ghost-like people when we go to the other side. And you probably go to the other side at least 2 times a week. You just don't remember. So if you ask to go to the Hall of Records or the Hall of Wisdom when you're asleep, then you can access that information, but ask to remember. So when you come back from sleeping, you can remember what you visited and what information you got. Obviously, if you're in meditation, it's easier to remember because you're in meditation. And sometimes you fall asleep in meditation, but often you're awake in meditation and you can remember visiting the Hall of Records or the Hall of Wisdom. Also, when people are in a hypnotic state, often when I'm guiding a client in a hypnotic state and they want to know something that they don't know consciously, like why did Uncle Harry leave the United States and we never heard from him again, or whatever it is, or why can't I find a new job? Often you can just, the client can just be asked, I can ask the client, why did Uncle Harry, or whatever I called him, leave the United States? Or why did whatever? And often your subconscious has access to your Akashic records, to your personal records. Your subconscious remembers everything from every point in time from this life. I can take people back to the day they were born, to being in an incubator, and they can hear what their parents are saying and what their relatives are saying. So you have access to your Akashic records personally through your subconscious. But sometimes people can access that and sometimes they can't. So they could go to the scanning area or they could go to Akashic records to see the scroll. But there's many ways to access this information. So during hypnosis or during meditation or sometimes during astral projection, you can focus on going there. There are many helpful temples on the other side where you can get answers to questions or find out about issues that you have. You can go talk to counsel. You can go talk to master teachers. You can go talk to messiahs. Yes, you can talk to messiahs. If you want to go talk to Jesus, you can. You want to go talk to Muhammad, you can. If you want to go talk to Lady of the Lotus, you can. It's not a closed area. You walk around talking to angels and talking to messiahs on the other side. It's not closed off from you. So when you're in life, as we're incarnate right now, you can ask to go to those places. Ask during the meditation. Ask or focus on that going in astral projection. Or do a hypnosis session. Sign me up. Contact me, heavenlyhypnotist@gmail.com. Or go to my website, bookme.name/Teresa, Teresa M, Teresa M. Anyway, if you're interested in doing that, it's easily done. So I believe Akashic Records are all of the thoughts, all of the information, all of the knowledge from every lifetime, from every planet. Now, on our other side of Earth, the Akashic records for Earth are contained. On the other side of Crab Nebula, some planet in Crab Nebula, then that Akashic record would be on their other side. There is a place, Nuvo, which is a planet that is not available in this plane, in this dimension. We don't see Nuvo. It's the heart of God. That's where that's placed. If you see God or source as the outline of a man, then Nuvo would be the heart of the man. And that planet has all of the Akashic records from every planet, every galaxy. Otherwise, the Akashic records are available at the planet that you have incarnated in. So the other side of that planet has the Akashic record. So the other side of Earth, heavenly part of Earth, is where the Akashic records are of all your lifetimes on Earth and everybody else's lifetimes on Earth. Now, there's people called mystical travelers, and they reside on the other side. They reside on Nuvo. So if you want to know about your life on another planet, then if you talk to a psychic or a channel who's a mystical traveler, they can access the Akashic records from any planet, any galaxy. So I know I'm a mystical traveler, so I can access Akashic records from other planets. So when I channel for people, I can channel information of their lifetimes on this planet and lifetimes on other planets. So Akashic records are God, source, creators, records of everything that's happened, every person, every dog, every animal, everything that's happened on this earth. Then that record is in the written form at the Hall of Records in scrolls, and it's available through the scanners, and it's available through that 360-degree step into that point in time. So those are 3 ways you can access it. And also your subconscious has it. Your subconscious has access to your higher mind, your soul, all of your soul's information, because when we come to Earth, we only bring a little bit of our essence. We don't bring all of it. It's like too cluttered. Besides, we're supposed to be learning lessons here. So you decide, okay, I'm not going to bring all of my knowledge. I'm just going to bring some, and I'm not going to be as smart as I am on the other side. I just need the IQ of 105. And that's what you come into Earth with. And then your higher self and your soulmate, twin soul, whatever, holds your essence for the rest of you. I think I've gotten a little off track here, but anyway, the Akashic Records are available to you. Now, some parts of the Akashic Records are hidden, and that's for the greater good. Your future is mostly hidden from you, except if you need some aspects of it, then you can get that information. But some of it is hidden because it's for the greater good. When Princess Diana died, she had gone to a psychic, and they had no idea that she had the possibility of dying soon. But that was hidden in her scroll. It was not available to anyone. She and her children had decided that was a possibility, and it was written in, but it was hidden, a secret part of her Akashic record. So most spirits on the other side had no clue that that was going to happen, because it was a potential thing that could happen. And her soul would decide whether she was going to exit or not. But that would be a last minute thing. When the point came, then her soul, her higher self, decided that. But it was hidden from everyone. Most everyone could not access that because it was for the greater good. Was she going to exit and potentially bring more lightness to the royalty, or was she not going to exit and that was more advantageous? She would decide. So sometimes things are hidden because it's for the greater good. So even if I went to see my cousin Joe's scroll, I might not be able to read some things. Also, you can decide when you scan your life after this lifetime, when you scan your life, you can decide, okay, this is a private thing. I don't want anyone to be able to see this, just me. And then it's hidden from people because you decided that's private. And then people can read your scroll. If people are going to come into life and they're planning, what lessons do I want to learn? What are the big things, that big X's I want to learn and go through? They will go to the Akashic Records and read through people's scrolls. They'll read, who the heck knows, Joan of Arc scroll. They'll read Joe Schmo's scroll. It doesn't matter. But if they think it may help them, it's like reading a book. Okay, do I want part of that lesson? Do I want to tweak this because I read it in such and such a scroll? So people have access like a library. You can go and read people's scrolls, but you have the choice of making areas private. So if you did something horrendous in a life, and you may not want people to read about that. Maybe you'll decide later to open it up, but right now it's closed. So Akashic Records, God's or source or creator's information. You can access it in many ways, and you might want to try that. You might want to do a meditation and try going to the Hall of Records or the Hall of Wisdom. You might want to see what Cousin Joe's scroll is about. You might want to go to the scanning area. I know some hypnosis clients spend all their time in the scanning area. And they don't always tell me what they're seeing. Because to me, it's ethical to say, this is your session. You can tell me you got the information, like say, okay, you want to know what's going to happen in your future job. So I say, okay, access that part in your scanner. And if you want it on audio, then you'll say it out loud. If you don't, I'll just say, did you get the information? And they'll say yes. And then the next point, the next issue, the next concern. And did you get the information? Yes. So you don't have to tell the hypnotist. You can just access the information. And if you want it on audio, maybe you're recording on your iPhone, then you would say it out loud. If not, you'll remember it. So, many reasons to access Akashic Records. You can go to the Hall of Records, you can go to the Hall of Wisdom, and you can check it out. If you go to sleep and want to access it, then please remember to say, I want to remember this. So please help me remember what information I get when I go to sleep tonight. So thanks for being here and thanks for joining me. And I'll see you next Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And thanks for joining me. Bye.